At FIE, we're not just
students
and faculty.
We're not only learners
and lecturers.
We are expanding minds,
Expanding futures.
We're redefining the classroom.
We are life-changing.
eye-opening. We are a community.
Driven by our values.
That wants you.
You.
Yes, you.
To join.
Hello and welcome to In the Field, a podcast from FIE, where we will be exploring all things study abroad. I'm Dr. Heidi James Dunbar, writer in residence and faculty, and I will be your host. This is another special episode where we're going to give you the lowdown on the SGLC, also known as the Student Global Leadership Conference. Joining me today are two resident experts, Rebecca Claris, Senior Director of Quality and Enhancement, and Victor Mellors, Academic Special Projects Officer and Faculty. You may remember them from previous episodes. Welcome, Victor and Rebecca. Thank you for joining me to talk about all things SGLC.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
My absolute pleasure. So I'm going to start with you, Rebecca. Can you tell us what is the SGLC?
Of course. So SGLC, the Student Global Leadership Conference, it started in 2013. And Heidi, did you know that I have attended every SGLC that's since then, all of them?
I did not. You need a prize for that.
Yeah, it's been my great pleasure. It's such an incredible event. For the 2017 edition, I was actually the conference director. And the conference is a conference for students and people who are involved in education, and it's all about leadership, and it's for a global audience. So there you go, the Student Global Leadership Conference. So we look at leadership from a global point of view, and the conference attracts delegates really from all over the world, both in person and also online. And they all come together to discuss pressing themes in leadership. Every year, the conference has a bit of a different theme. So we look at leadership from different points of view. So if you attend the conference from one year to the next, you're always going to be seeing different keynotes and different presenters. And one thing we're really proud of is that we encourage the students themselves to also deliver presentations. So some of the presenters are professionals in the field, and some of the presenters are students. And so we support any student who wants to get involved in presenting.
Fantastic. So it's not just our students at FIE, it's all students anywhere from any institution.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And they genuinely do come from all over the world.
Fantastic. Thank you. And Victor, can you tell us about the theme for 2025?
Yeah, sure. So the theme for 2025 is inclusive leadership. And specifically, it's inclusive leadership, establishing cultural connections and challenging stereotypes. So, yeah, it's a really interesting, I think, timely look at leadership. It's all about inclusivity, equality, diversity, and how we can take these on board and involve, these really key sort of themes in terms of leadership.
Mm-hmm. So it's inviting different voices in leadership too. So that's really important.
Absolutely.
And okay, let's get down to the actual nitty-gritty. When is it and where is it?
Yes, so it's taking place on the 4th and the 5th of April 2025, and it takes place at a really beautiful location in South Kensington, London, the Royal Geographical Society. It begins the Friday evening. There's a sort of welcome reception and our first keynote speaker. So that'll kick off around about 6 o'clock. The timeline isn't quite set yet, but sort of 6 o'clock or after. And there's a canapé reception. And then it's all day on Saturday, the 5th of April, from about 9 a.m. till shortly before 5 p.m.
Fantastic. Okay. And it's also online, you said, so people can join us online if they're not able to get here.
That's right. Yeah. So it's in person and also online. So if you can't make it to London, it's not the end of the world. You can tune in online.
Brilliant. Thank you. We've talked about who is it for, Rebecca. So can you talk a little bit about why attend and why present?
Yeah, sure. So it's for students, but we get undergraduate students, graduate students, people who are interested in students and student leadership, so higher education professionals, professionals in the field of international education and study abroad. So all of these different sort of constituencies attend to get to have a conversation around what is leadership, what makes for good leaders, perhaps not so good leaders, ethics in leadership, different points of view, underrepresented views in leadership, different angles of leadership. So you get to have this conversation in a variety of different contexts. So as Victor mentioned, we have the canopé reception. It's always great to see all of the delegates networking, getting to know each other, making those connections, exchanging the contact details, thinking about how they can take what they learned forward after the conference. And then we also have really incredible keynote speakers. Every year, Heidi, I am always blown away by the quality of our keynote speakers. Even though I'm staff, right? I'm staff attending the event. I'm not a delegate. I just sit there and I absorb the information. And even when I don't agree with everything that they say, I just learn so much about how to be a better leader in my own life, whether that's personal leadership or how to better lead others or be more inclusive in my own leadership. So that's really amazing. And then we have breakout sessions. And as I said before, some of the sessions will be presented by professionals in the field. Some of them will be presented by students, who might even be presenting at the conference for the first time, or who are attending the conference as part of their academic studies, or who are just interested in leadership, want to become better leaders or share what they've learned in being leaders on their own home campuses. So you get to choose which of these breakout sessions that you attend. We tend to categorize them into different threads depending on the theme of the year, so that you can go really in depth into a particular thread or get more of a breadth of view of different things. So yeah, there's a lot of really great reasons to attend. I would say it's very interesting, engaging, and all of the sessions are very participatory. So every delegate really finishes the conference feeling like they got involved and they had a chance to contribute their own thoughts as well.
Yeah, I've always been very struck by the collaborative and really very welcoming and open atmosphere of the SGLC. Why present? Because I think that can feel quite intimidating for some students. Well, indeed, professionals actually presenting at a conference isn't always a walk in the park, but it really is. You are held here and looked after through the process. So can we talk about why you think it's important for people to present a paper at a conference like this?
Absolutely. And I agree. You know, all of us as professionals, the three of us have all presented at different conferences. And that first one can be a bit scary. So we really want to make the SGLC be a place where students can safely and successfully take that first step. So if you're a student and you have an idea for what you might want to present in the conference, even if it's not fully formed, I would still encourage you to submit an application, because we'll be able to get a sense of what you're going for. And each student presenter is assigned a mentor who will help them through that process, refine their ideas, figure out how to maybe structure it in a different way or a more engaging way, practice with them, and really take them through all of the steps to ensure that when they are delivering their session at the conference, that they'll be able to do so in a way that they and all of people attending their session will benefit. So if you're a student who wants to make that transition into being attending conferences and presenting at conference, the SGLC is a really great way to get a lot of support in making that step.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so rare. I can't imagine, I certainly can't remember ever having that kind of support when I was a student or even a young academic. But conferences, I always think it's important to say, aren't just for young academics or hopeful academics. Most of us in most walks of life and our careers now have to give a presentation or attend conferences, whether it's sales conferences or new product launches, for example. So it's really good to get some practice, get some experience in this safe, because it is an educational experience environment. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so Victor, how do you register, and then how do people go about submitting these proposals to present?
Yeah, so it's all on the website basically. So check out our website, fie.org.uk, and from there you can go to the conference website. But if not, it's /SGLC conference, and very easy to register on there. There's an early bird price. I'd recommend trying to nab that. That's until the 31st of January. You can register on, for in-person, to be an in-person delegate, also for online registration there as well. And then if you're interested in putting a proposal in for a session, there's a link towards the bottom of the page, and that takes you to the form, presentation proposal form, and lots of details there to read through. But in essence, it's not as scary. Shouldn't hopefully be as scary as it looks. It's a little bit like sort of proposing a sort of essay plan in a way, which students will be, more than quite used to. And there's even suggested topics and themes that students can kind of sort of get their teeth into. I'll just read out a couple here. So leadership in response to debates and current events, building stronger, united, and inclusive communities, leading through challenging conversations. So all of these, really, really pertinent, topical, things going on in our world at the moment in relation to leadership. And any of these, there's a long list here, could be good starting points for a proposal.
Yeah, brilliant. Obviously, part of my work as an academic is submitting proposals for conferences and giving papers. And the one thing I would always say to anyone is think about something that fires you up, that you're passionate about. You're going to spend some time researching and writing and then talking about this. So rather than read the themes and think, oh, that sounds the most difficult and clever to do the one that you're really excited by, that you find challenging, or that you have some insight to, something that you feel you can really get your teeth into. Because I just feel like sometimes we can aim for something that isn't necessarily what gives us the fire in our belly, and our audience can tell. So if it fires you up, it will fire up the audience, I think. Would you guys agree?
Yeah. And practical advice. Just hearing from your colleagues about the things that we mutually find challenging or rewarding can inspire amazing conversations. And that's what the conference is about.
Yeah, brilliant. Any other final points or anything before I ask you your city secret?
I would say if anyone, I really, Rebecca's already mentioned this, but I really recommend putting a proposal in to deliver a presentation. As you said, Heidi, I mean, it's a great opportunity to develop your presentation skills. These are highly prized in the world of work nowadays, even if you don't go into academia. And you can only get better by practicing, basically. So this is an opportunity for that. And there's mentorship throughout the process as well. So there's really no reason not to try to put a proposal in and get that in sooner rather than later, because they're taken on a rolling basis up to the deadline.
Brilliant. I'll list all the deadlines and things in a moment, actually. Brilliant. Thank you. Okay. Was there anything you wanted to add, Rebecca, or do you want to tell me your city secret?
Yeah, I'll tell you a bit about my city secret, which connects to the venue of the conference. So if you join us in person, you'll be at the Royal Geographical Society, which is a truly incredible and historic venue. And it's located within this really lovely area in London, South Kensington, that was the site of the Great Exhibition, spearheaded by Prince Albert, the husband of Queen Victoria. And when he sadly died at quite a young age, she erected a memorial in his honor, and it's located just a stone's throw away from the venue. So I would really encourage anyone who joins us for the conference to go and take a look. And Prince Albert's life really sort of centered around these values of learning and innovation, of cultural exchange. And the memorial really tries to encapsulate those values and beliefs into a single structure. It's really ornate, it's really big, it's covered in gold leaf. Apparently, it took the equivalent of about £10 million to build at the time. And then in the 90s, they spent another 11 million to restore it. So it's not just your average statue. It's quite an elaborate and interesting piece of work.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's quite beautiful. Victor, what about you? What's your city secret for the SGLC?
Yeah, very quickly, I would say on the sort of royal theme, check out the V&A, Victoria and Albert Museum, which again, just a short walk from the venue. And it's got, I mean, you could spend, days and days and days in there. But if, by the end of the conference, if it's sort of Saturday evening, Sunday, you're going there and you just want to drink, there's a lovely cafe, if all else fails, lovely cafe with cakes and teas, coffees, etc. And it's beautifully, beautifully tiled. So just to spend a little bit of time in there, very peaceful, very tranquil. I would recommend that.
Yeah, hard agree. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you both so much. That's fantastic advice and information. I will be giving all the details in a moment, and also you can find all the details on the show notes too. The timeline for the SGLC. So registration opens October the 15th, 2024. Our scholarship cycle is November the 1st, 2024 through to March the 16th, 2025. Final call for proposals is November the 15th, 2024. Early bird registration ends January the 15th, 2025, and registration closes on March the 23rd, 2025. To learn more about our faculty courses and programmes, visit our website www.fie.org.uk. And if you've enjoyed this episode, check out our others wherever you listen to your podcast. Thank you for listening. FIE provides life-changing study abroad experiences in the UK, Ireland and Spain. As a non-profit educational organisation, we are passionately invested in making a difference for our students as the future global leaders of tomorrow and the field of international education as a whole. The FIE podcast is a creative and academic space for exploring everything, the people, the places and opportunities that make your experience so valuable and exciting.
FIE, we're here to help you
Unlock a wider
brighter future.